What's up, everybody? It is Murph from server 943. I just wanted to make maybe a little bit longer video today here, but we have just hit yesterday our 1 year mark in Last War. I've logged in a consecutive 366 days in a row, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever committed to anything that much besides my girlfriend. So let's just, what I want to do is just kind of give what I look like as a dolphin, per se, in Last War, and kind of see where my account's at after a long year. So, yeah, I started. I mean, crazy to think I started what is that? September 30th of 2024, playing Last War, getting got by Anthony Starr to come out here and kill some zombies on a bridge, and it turned out to be nothing like that. But today, I'll just kind of run through where my account's at, what I focused on, where I'm at with my power, what all my squads look like, exclusive weapons, skills, gear, some of the base skins I have, show you my drone and skill chips, talk about my gorilla, tech, and then decorations. So let's just kind of hop right into it here. So we are in season 3. We have about let me see here. We have 11 days left of season 3. So about a week and a half. We just, I think we have just a couple attacks left. We just did attack this morning, smashed one of our opponents, beat them in less than 10 minutes, and they were one of the top 3 alliances here. So great success there. Where I'm at with my squads. So when I say I'm a Dolphin, guys, I would say, I mean, there's definitely months that I've spent more than others. But I mean, I don't even think I spend really that much money. I mean, some months I might have spent a couple grand. Other months I've spent a couple $100s, and even honestly, up until the end of season 1, I wasn't even really spending much at all. just the basics, really. And I'll kind of show you guys that with my VIP level and kind of where I'm at there. I mean, there's people that are very similar to in power or stronger than, and their VIP status is much higher than mine. So, which is kind of, for me, I think is a good thing, because if I'm stronger than you and I've spent less money, I'm proud of that. It means I just did it more strategically. So let's kind of hop into it now. So I am a HQ 32. I am paused. I told myself I'm not going to push HQ 33 or 34 at all during the season. I wanted to catch up on some tech, and I have done that exactly. So my first squad is, I am an air main. My first squad, I am at 49.09 million with the gorilla. Without the gorilla, I am at 44.71. But let's be real, I'm always going to be using the gorilla. So just approaching that 50 million mark is my goal for the end of season 3. My second squad is a tank squad. It's about 37.48, and that's with pretty much no gear on it, just some level 0s and some level 40 gear. Third squad is my missile squad, which is awful. It is just the worst. And of course, my fourth squad is just my monster squad here. So we never use that except for really gathering or what other cases I could use it for. So that's really kind of where I'm at. Realistically, when it comes to my squad and the way I progress through, is just, I started tank like everyone else usually did at the beginning. I had no idea what this game was. And then at the end of season 1, I started making that transition over to air. Didn't do it right away. Started kind of pumping up my air squad to make them as strong as I possibly could before I made the full switch. And then honestly, ever since then, it's been air squad everything. So I'll kind of show you where I'm at with my heroes there, my wall of honor, and kind of go from there. But my DVA, she's the queen of the crop for the air team. She is yoked out. She's got all mythic gear because I have her up in the front. Her skills are all maxed out, 40 out of 40. I have her exclusive weapon at level 30, all of the little exclusive weapon wall of honor, all to level 20 pillars. I haven't messed with that in a long time since the new exclusive weapons have come out. Then I'll move over to Carly. Carly, I'm still working on gear, is a big thing I'm working on for my squad right now, but from a skill wise, I pretty much have the important skills maxed out at 38, as I have her exclusive weapon, I think, to level 26. I'm not really focusing on Carly right now anytime soon. I'm really focusing more on Skylar, as I would imagine Carly will be going away from my air team coming into season 4 with the tactics cards. So next, we have Skylar. Skylar, her exclusive weapon came out a couple weeks ago. I think 3 weeks ago today. So McGregor's comes out tonight. And yeah, I mean, her skills are pretty much almost maxed out for her current exclusive weapon level. It's going to get increased tonight. I'm going to take her exclusive weapon up to level 25 tonight. So I'll have a little bit more work to do there. And then I got the main man, Mo, here. One of my favorite heroes on the team. His skills are completely maxed out, been maxed out for a while. And of course, his exclusive weapon's not out yet. And then we have Lucius. Can't wait for his exclusive weapon next season. But, I'm playing him kind of in the back row there just for the shields and the normal air setup for the later seasons. His skills are all maxed out besides his auto attack because it just doesn't make sense to put them there. So that's kind of where I'm at with the air squad. Tank, I'm not going to go through every single squad here, guys, but just want to show you the things that I'm focusing on. But I am about to start as soon as I kind of get my air squad, maxed out with skills. I've been working on getting the missile and tank squad kind of elevated up there a little bit. But, for the tank squad, I have Murphy. I've got his exclusive weapon up to 21. I'm getting him kind of ready for season 4 to bring on to the air squad. I'll get his exclusive up to 22 tonight. I've got Kim's exclusive at 20, and I've got Marshall's exclusive at 20. So I've done those all pretty quickly. Did a lot of saving of my exclusive weapon shards after season 2, preparing to get both of those up to level 20 as soon as possible. Like I said, skill wise, this is not my main, so I still got a lot of work here to do with these heroes, where my main focus being on Murphy for next season. I'll get him maxed out in the next couple of weeks, and then we should be good there. And then, of course, we got Scarlet new this season here. So I've got her on the team as well, adjacent with Kim, to give her all that amazing damage reduction, which has been baller. So, and then my missile, guys, I'm telling you, it is god-awful. I don't focus anything onto these guys. I've just recently started putting some of my leftover skill medals into the team. I think I finally got all their skills at least to level 10. And their exclusive weapons, I think Tesla's at 7 and then Swift's at 5. So yeah, I don't even focus on missile at all. But I think that's important. I think as we start this process and start playing this game, especially in the earlier seasons, the idea is let's just focus everything into one squad. And I think that is 100% should be the case. But as we progress into like where I'm at, especially where I'm at with spending and my power, for me to stay competitive with the people that are in my similar range, I have to start spreading out, things to the other teams. But also because I'm forced to, because I have nothing else to really invest in the teams other than, more exclusive weapon levels and ensuring, after I get that extra level, I max them out right away. But, I'm starting to spread over to tank, and I'm doing tank because a lot of the people that I am fighting against, and that's a popular squad, of course, is missiles. So I want to be able to have the counter to my main. And I'll be getting that squad up pretty beefy here soon. Hopefully by the end of the season, I'll have that tank squad up to level up to about 40 million. But that's not going to really see a significant growth until I start really investing, getting that gear up on that team as well. But I can't justify putting leveling gear up on that squad yet, really, until my main squad is in a good spot. So let's kind of talk about what that gear looks like for my team. So for, like I said, for Skylar, or for DVA, I got all mythics on her. For Carly, I've got her defensive mythics, as she is the main up front. And I've now been working recently on getting all of my other gear pieces too. I feel like I was falling behind some of the other squads on my gear because I was working on one piece of gear at a time. And now that I was kind of in a pretty good spot with my gear, I wanted to get all of the gear, all of my defensive gear for all my other heroes up to at least 2 dot. And now that I have all of those done pretty much, except for Lucius, this will be my last piece here. After I get this shield up to 2 dot, then I'm going to start working on getting them up to 4, because the 3rd dot is pointless. So that's really kind of where I'm at with gear. I have 7 mythics. I think for the mythic prints, I think that you get 2 for free in the game. From your code boss, rewards for hitting those goals of, I think, was it 2 or 3 million or 3 and 5 million. But it's just important that you're very selective on where you put your put those prints. I think that your first 2 mythic prints, if anything, especially if you're low or medium spender, should probably be on your guns for your 2 main damage dealers. And then if you were to buy more mythic prints, because keep in mind those prints really come out to about $300 a piece, that you put those on your radars and your shields as much as you can, and really kind of avoid using your mythic prints on the data chips as a low to medium spender. For whales, of course, it makes tons of sense. It's a nice piece to have, but you're going to get more value out of the defensive pieces than you are the data chips itself. So really, the data chip, I feel like, it of course does complement the offensive team, offensive heroes, but it is, I think, more of a defensive piece of gear at the end of the day, because of all the damage resistance that it has. So that's that for the squads. So let's kind of hop into the other areas here. Gone through the exclusive weapons, gone through the skills, gone through some of the gear. I guess I can talk about some of the base skins. So base skins, of course, are fun. Everyone loves the aesthetical view. My first base skin that I ever bought was the little fire truck. So I'm excited to be able to use him next season for season 4 as the season 4 base skin. Then, of course, I got the gotcha from the Easter event. Spent a couple $100 on him. I literally never use it. I think it's one of the worst base skins personally. And then I finally bought the helicopter. This is one I wanted the most. I mean, yeah, it cost a couple $100, but it's dope and I like it and it makes me happy. And then after that, I of course got the mushroom base, so I can be a little bit more competitive with help me out with zombies and some of the gold zombie bosses, and then also hitting harder on code. After that, for some of the frames, you need to have a frame, of course. So I've got one of these from the season season store, and I got the other one from one of the events. So the more frames of these that you guys can have, the better. Nameplates, these just come all from the season passes and the some of the events that we've had from holiday events and so on and so forth. Just use them. Don't keep these ones in your inventory, because they do give you HP for all of those. So no reason to have those hiding in your inventory. Then I've got a couple base effects. I got the one from I think the whatever event was with all the music, and then of course I have the Eternal Flame, which is my favorite one. And then my next my goal for this October is for Halloween. I want to get one of these trap bubbles, but we got some big boys in the server to compete with to get that. So we'll see how realistic it is. I'm really shooting for either the purple or the Easter one, because they're kind of the ones I see the least amount of. So after that, I guess I can hop into my drone. I think for the way people spend, they spend in different ways. So just ensuring that, the way that you play the game, make sure that the way that you spend complements that style. So for me, something that I invested a lot in, kind of from the beginning, was not so much my drone itself, because I'm almost have a 50 million squad and I don't even have a 150 drone yet. I'll hopefully have that here in the next week or so. But I invested more of my efforts into the skill chips for my main squad. So I have all of my skill chips. Sorry about my dog. Up to 6-star, and I just got my my middle one up to 7-star, and I'm actually not going to push any of these other up to 7 until I actually get this middle one to 8, because I want to get that next ascension bonus there. For the tank squad, they're all 4-star, and the missile, somehow I have a 5-star, and I've literally never created a chip. This is just all of my RNG pool. And again, I don't ever use my missile squad, so it doesn't really matter. I think another big thing that I focused on was getting this combat boost up to stage 4, up to level 450. This was a huge boost for us, for my team, and it gave me all those additional stat bonuses from that combat boost stage 4. Once I get to 150, that's going to be great. But then, my drone components are all level 9 on the left. I'm working on getting them all level 9 on the right. Obviously focusing on missile first with all my choice chests that I get. But I still have a pretty yoked out drone, 10,500,000. So it's can't complain. It does work for me. After that, I guess I'll hop into my Mandingo warrior here, my gorilla. This was something I was really excited about. It's something I bought all the packs right away. I think it cost around $500, and I, I was honestly not impressed after the purchases of, how effective he was. I feel like it was more fluff numbers. But now that I have focused and started investing in the gorilla in the right ways, I'm starting to really see a difference with him being on my team. I would say for people that are getting the gorilla, I do think that you should lock it as fast as you possibly can, with your spend level. Um, but really, where my gorilla is at right now at level 4, I think this is the spot that most people are going to be at for a long time, unless you're going to spend a lot of money. So the things that I think that you should focus on is, of course, trying to get your gorilla up here to level 4. But for me to buy to level 5, that's literally $1,000, and I'm not going to do that. I just cannot justify spending $1,000 for just these little levels to increase some skills that I don't even have enough skill medals for the gorilla because they're so expensive. So on and so forth here. I think the best thing that you could do to really get the most out of your gorilla is actually doing the specialized training and using the bond badges. That's where you're going to see the biggest power boost. And this is where I feel like I've really started seeing him make an impact on my team. So I've got him at Reliable Partner 3. I got that yesterday with the new Bounty Hunter event. Watch that video, please. And I have all of his specialized trainings over 200 finally. That was a grind. And then, yeah. So as I get these Overlord shards, I'll upgrade them, but it's not something that I'm now rushing to buy anymore. Next, I would say I can hop into tech. So this is something that this season I was strong in certain areas, and I was weak in some. And tech was my one that I just didn't focus on enough at the beginning, and I wish I would have. And I really recommend everyone do, especially your hero tech. So 2 weeks ago, guys, my hero tech was at like 72%, which was just not okay. There's just so much power in there that I was just missing out on. And I always feel like any of the close battles I had, even if I had superior gear, superior skill chips, whatever it might be, or even in some cases even being stronger, I lost because my tech was so low. So really ensuring that whenever you're starting your tech journey, hero tech is just important. Ensuring that you get as much of this filled out as you can, especially these bottom 4. This is, I feel like, a worse grind than T10s. With all the gold that it took, I mean, just the last 4 researches to get all these to 5 out of 5 was like 2.5 G's of gold, and they were over 20 days of research each. So 80 days of speed ups and 2.5 G's of gold for those researches. But hey, they're done now, and the only things I'm focusing on now in my tech tree is I'm going to get this last tank one done just because it's going to be annoying, and I'm going to start focusing on this air squad. I actually just started this one yesterday. But these are the same price as the ones at the bottom here. They're 626 million gold, even with all my reductions. I'm not going to do the missile ones anytime soon because I just don't focus on my missile squad. And I'm going to kind of start transitioning over to units. I have 1 unit research I need to finish, so I'll do that after I'm done with my air squad. And then after that, guys, I mean, of course, you have your little stuff that you should do with your trucks and with your Alliance dual tech and things like that. But now I'm focusing. One of my tech centers is on hero tech. One of my tech centers is going to be on mastery, and the third is going to be either on siege and defensive fortifications. And on siege and defensive fortifications, guys, it's just making sure that you get these 3 rows done. You don't waste your time into these as much as you need to. Like, you're just going to get more benefit out of these 3 rows. But just keep in mind that the first row is very cheap and it's pretty quick. But these right here go by 0.5%. There's 10 research you have there for each. The middle row does 1% increase, and the bottom row does 1.5%. So just know that. Don't waste any of your skill points into research into this fatal strike. I think this is some of the dumbest tech you can have. The defensive one, maybe not as dumb, but the attack one, I think, it just doesn't help you. It's expensive. It costs valor. And it doesn't even add power to your squad. It just kills more of your opponent's troops, which is, I mean, useful in some cases, but realistically, not in most battles. And then mastery, just going through this thing one time, go through, do the bare minimum, give you 20%, and then start running through it again. So that's kind of where I'm at with my tech. I feel like I'm in a much better spot. I've been dominating people as of recently. And that's kind of where I'm at with my tech. And it's just never going to be the never ending grind. So now I'm going to start running into those valor problems all those people have been talking about. And then really kind of just maybe wrap some of this up here, guys. Where I'm at next is I want to talk about the deco. And for anybody watching this, if you're just curious on like, what if I were to spend some money, Riker, sorry, if I were to spend some money, what thing could I spend money on and get the most power fastest? And that is deco, especially if you haven't invested in deco before. So my deco power, which is I think is still pretty high. Some people, of course, have higher than me. The people in my alliance that have 30, 40 million deco power, but of course they're like 200 million hero power. Mine's at almost 22 million. I have every deco that you can have. I have almost all of my decos up to level 4 of the ones that you have to buy. I mean, I have some of the others that I, of course, haven't, like Pumpkin Panic. I'm not worried about that because it's like the least important one besides the Pyramid, maybe. The Jacko Zombie is something I'm going to get next. The Cabriolet and the Rock the End, Cornucopia. These are all ones that I'm working on getting there. But I'll get there as the Decorate Your Dreams come around. So I'm not spending crazy anymore because the amount of money I spent at the beginning to get this deco here I feel like was worth the spend. But now it's just cost so much money it's going to cost a couple $100 just to get one or two of these up to the next level. For some it's a decent increase, but not as drastic as it was getting these from 1 to 4. It was definitely more of a it felt a lot better when you got that, you spent that money on getting these decos up. And I would just recommend, guys, that if you guys have some of the new events coming up with Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, the best way to upgrade your deco is those events. There's 5,000 universal deco components inside those events usually, and there's almost always a new deco that comes out with those. So buy those packs, and then hope your luck is great to get your to get the tickets to get the deco. Deco's one of the first things I always buy, and it helps all of your squads and your gorilla. So that's really important on the gorilla as well. You can invest a lot of money in the gorilla, but if you don't have the deco to back it up, it's just going to be a little wet noodle. So I think from there, just some of the other tips that I could recommend just with my time in the game. I have only been in, technically I've been in 3 alliances in the whole year. The first alliance I was in is in my first server in 962. Honor, shout out to them, still some of my good pals. We're actually in a season grouping with them, so I get to see them quite often now. But I was in like one of the top 10 alliances, but I wasn't in one of the top 3. And so for me, I aligned more with the fighters and the rather than the farmers. And that right there, I think dictated I'd probably be 5 to 8 million hero power stronger if I was in a stronger top tier alliance to start than kind of running through the motions with my first alliance. Still learned a lot, but being in the top alliance, guys, is just going to be super important. We get so much more rewards, your gift level, you're with strong people, you're going to be winning more because, you're in some of the top alliance, you're going to get better rewards, you're winning your VSs, all the things. When I come in here every single day and in the morning and get these gifts, I claimed these before I started recording this call. I already have 48 more gifts here, and some people bought some stuff, so it's just free resources, free power that you're getting from being there. And for us in server 943 now, we even after our battle this morning, I think last night our alliance was up like 19 and a half G's of total power, and we're in first place for season 3. So we're starting to starting to reap the benefits, and of course the rewards that you get from being in these positions is just hand in hand much better than being down here at the bottom. So just be in one of the top alliances, but also just be in an alliance that you vibe with. That's important. Have fun. But other than that, I think I mentioned I was going to show my VIP level. So I'm a VIP 15, but I'm still like over 1 million points away from being VIP 16, which there's people in my alliance that are, I'm even stronger than, that are already at VIP 16. And I think that just goes to show that some of the people on those accounts spent wrong. They bought the wrong things. So the things that I would recommend that everyone should buy is the weekly battle pass. I think that's some of the best value that you can get. Any of the season passes that you can get from any of the new seasons. I think that's very important. From a daily perspective, the things I always buy is the $5 daily sale for the exclusive weapons or the UR shards. Should only really be exclusive weapons now. And then from the daily must buys, some of the best that you could get, I think, especially in the later seasons, is the $5 Gorilla Pack. It's not here because I've already bought it. And then even sometimes the Deco and the drone chip. This is what really helped me with getting my drone skill chips to where it's at today. And of course, the super monthly is going to be a super important as well. I think it's important to have that extra gathering squad, and all the extra things that it gives you, and having that force squad. And then I think now that we have the new update, we have the new weekly pass. I think this is just a for sure must buy. You get so much out of it for $20. So that's if you are going to spend, that's what you should buy. And then of course, if you're watching this and you're in preseason, you should buy all of the warrior passes. I think it's what it's called, for when all the heroes are starting to come out. It's the best value to get them leveled up as fast as possible. And then of course I buy all of the exclusive weapon packs as well, from when they come out, or at least I buy the battle pass. And then, other than that, guys, the events, the best time to spend money and get the most value is from the holiday events and the seasonal events. So that's where you should spend if you're going to spend, things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I think just to finish it off, I am, in my total hero power, guys, I am 100 and almost 142 million. I'm 15th in my server. But there's a lot of us all pretty close together here. That's me as a Dolphin per se, and kind of where I'm at after 1 year. Keep an eye out. I have some exciting videos coming up soon. I'm actually going to do kind of a repeat with this with some of the whales in my alliance. I've got some pretty big boys. I've got Al and Naughty Ricky Bobby. Al's at almost 240 million total hero power, and Roger's almost at 220. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to kind of do a year in review for them as well. As being a whale, and kind of where they're at, and how they're the things that they do are different from the things that I do. So please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, if you want to roast me down in the comments, I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed me kind of giving you a little tour of where I'm at with my account. But have a great day, guys, and talk to you next time.